Microphone is on. We're good to go. Hey everybody, Bayzad here, back again with another live stream. Hope got a new camera, got a new setup, so hopefully things will look a little bit better this week. Welcome to the Friday evening, Saturday morning for me, live stream here from Japan. It is Naked Famous Denim Day. My name is Bayzad. I'm going to answer all of your questions, all of your denim-related questions, show you some new stuff, talk about stuff. I don't know. We'll see how this live stream goes. You know me. It's not very organized, but we get to talk about a lot of fun stuff. So I hope that everybody, we can cover all the topics you want to talk about here on Naked Famous Denim Day, Friday evening for you guys, 7 p.m. Eastern, every Friday, Saturday morning for me. So. Let's get into it. I've got a double live stream going on here. So I've got all of our folks on Instagram land. If you're watching this on Instagram, head over to YouTube right now. We've got the live stream going on there. Hey everybody, welcome. We are live in DC in the house. Everybody, let me know where you are. I'd love to know where everybody is coming in from. And don't forget to hit the like button when you arrive. Let everybody know. These likes to help spread the word of the live stream out into the Naked Famous Denim world. So the more interactions and stuff that we get, the more it helps us. So when you arrive, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, you definitely want to hit the subscribe button. We've got a new subscription animation somewhere here, and you'll see it if you subscribe. So, welcome. Matthew Bradwell, with each new camera angle, we get to know the apartment a little bit better. It's true. You get to see a little bit more of my genkan. So in Japanese, the entrance to your house is your genkan. As you can see, it's kind of a dumping ground for a lot of things. Behind me is a dumping ground for clothes, and the counter is a dumping ground for papers. So it's just it's a little bit messy in here. We live here obviously, and we work here, and so there's just stuff. Like there's packages arriving every day. There's just stuff all the time. So you get to see a little bit more. We have a little bit of tidying and cleaning and decorating to do, and maybe one day we'll do an apartment tour, but. For now, you get to see just a little bit more of all the stuff that just piles up around here. New work shirts when? I have to check the production schedule, but I'm presuming soon. I'm presuming pretty soon. Even though I'm, you think I would know everything, but I don't often get the memo on everything. So I'm just constantly checking with production to see where things are and how things are coming along. So it's a big task actually, and I'm sure my team's annoyed with me because I'm constantly, where's this? When's that? When is this coming in? It's just they're like, I'll tell you when I know. I'm like, I need to know now. We've got people waiting. But that's okay. That's what my job is. All right. Folks over on Instagram, head over to YouTube. Right now, we've got the live stream going on there. We're going to continue the live stream there. So I'm gonna head off on YouTube. I'm going to head off on Instagram. Follow me, follow us on YouTube, and I will see you guys there. Bye, everyone. I wish there was actually a better way that I could. In fact, I'm sure there's a way that I can multi-stream. Here on YouTube, Instagram, maybe you'll get a Twitch going and just the one stream that just goes out everywhere. I got to do a little bit of research, but I'm fairly certain that it's actually possible. Anyways, hello from the Netherlands. Crescendo in the house. Love the new camera, much more clear. Appreciate, I think it's way more clear. My other camera was my DSLR. And I had it connected through, like the DSLR had some kind of like webcam app, but I don't think it was capturing at like full 4K, so the quality was not as great. This camera is definitely capturing at 4K, so I think it's much better, and it's way more clear. Anyway, so and it's much less setup for me, so I'm pretty happy with this one. Shuggy Slug writes, I hope you mix an epic White Russian. I spot the Kalu. You know what? I don't actually drink. Uh, there's a bunch of anyways. We have it. My wife enjoys, and we have company every now and then. So, but personally, I've never had alcohol before. I'm as straight edge as they come. No drugs, no alcohol. Um, Daniel Beachach writes, "Hey Bezad, is Noah gonna keep his discount when he's gone? If not, I'm done with Naked and Famous." Well, I think you let a little bit of a cat out of the bag there, but our good friend Noah at Naked Famous Denim, he's moving on. He's going to be moving on at the end of the month. Will he be keeping his discount? We'll see. He's a friend and family member of Naked Famous Denim for life. So we'll certainly, we have no problem keeping Noah threaded up, through over. There we go. Over time. So Noah's a good friend of ours. But he's moving in a different direction. As that is life. Team members come and go. That's just the way business is. He's definitely a cherished member of the team. He was one of our first employees. I hired him myself. I remember interviewing him. Very, very great guy, very charismatic guy, and obviously loved by many, many of our customers here. And he will be missed. So if you want to see Noah, you've got a couple more weeks to enjoy his presence at Naked and Famous Denim NYC. But segueing into I guess the next topic, we are looking for, if you are in the New York City area, we are looking for staff. So if you ever wanted to enter the denim world or be a part of the Naked Famous Denim team, we are looking for enthusiastic denim lovers to join the Naked Famous Denim team. I put a post out on Reddit. I'll probably put one on Instagram soon. But some people ask me like, "Hey, we got the animation going. You like that? Trippy." Thank you, Ty Brook, for subscribing to the channel. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I put a call out on Reddit because to be honest, I found all of our staff from Christopher Yerks. Thank you for subscribing. So our staff, our original staff, I put out a call out on Reddit, and I think pretty much everybody we hired and everybody we interviewed came from Reddit, which was really fantastic. Reddit is such the raw denim community there is such a tight community. It's a very friendly community. It's a very welcoming community. I really enjoy. I haven't posted there as of late in a while, but I was very, very active there for a long time. I'm still in and out of there, just reading stuff. It's just my life gets a little chaotic and busy, but nevertheless, people ask me if they need retailer experience, and I say no. We're more than happy to show you our way of doing things. I think we act in a way that's a little bit different than a lot of retail stores. We're very hands-on. This isn't the kind of store where you walk into and it's if it's not serve yourself. It's you come in. We've got this beautiful denim menu. You check it out, and we're there to help you from start to finish, making sure that you've got the right fit, the right size, the right fabric, everything that's right for you. It's not like going to a chain store at the mall where you pull your jean off the shelf, you go in, there's some guy at the change room that gives you a little thing that tells you how many pieces you have when you went in, and they provide you with. That's it. That's the extent of the help that they're giving you. No, we want to make sure that the jeans that you leave the store with are the right ones for you, and that you're happy with them. So, retail experience. It helps, absolutely. It certainly helps, but we're more than happy to, show you the ropes and the way that we do things. And, so long as you've got a good grip on raw denim and what it's about and how to care and wear, how it wears and how to care for it, that's actually more important to me than anything else. So if you ever wanted to work in the denim world, this is a good place to start. I got my start working on the denim floor too, so it's a good place to be. I think I love working the floor. Even when I'm back in Montreal, I have the opportunity to work. Tati and Yoko Montreal is actually on the ground level of our offices, so sometimes I'm down in there, and helping customers it still brings me a lot of joy. I spent a lot of time doing that, early in my, working career. And it just lets you get a good feel for what's going on in, with your customers, how they feel about stuff. So I really enjoy having our own retail so that we can really see this type of stuff firsthand. We get a lot of firsthand feedback as well. So, yeah, working at a denim shop, it's it's like working anywhere else, I guess. You got to unpack boxes, you got to pack stuff up, you got to tag and bag things. There's all that kind of stuff too. But if you love denim, you want to be around it, it's definitely a great place to be. So, anyways, if you're interested, reach out to me. You can reach out to the New York store, and send your resume. So we're looking. Let's get to some questions. Trevor L writes, how often are pairs released that aren't part of the scheduled season, like the Friday the 13th and Freddy's, so the Nightmare on Elm Street, aren't specifically part of the fall-winter 2021? So the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street, we consider those like capsule collections. And how often does that happen? We try to do something once a season. It all depends on timing, especially when you're working with other properties. There's a lot of approval processes and stuff involved with that. So you have no idea. Sometimes it's like it can take weeks just to get like the simplest thing kind of approved, and then that just pushes everything. It just pushes everything down the line. So, yeah. Sometimes it can really mess with release schedules, but we try to do something every season. There's also, like, aside from the capsule collection, sometimes we just make stuff, like the Ichiban or the Karui. Those weren't really part of the fall winter season. We just thought it would be fun to bring those back. In fact, I have a couple of other styles. I have a corduroy that I have planned coming out this fall. It's just, some of this stuff is just dependent on like my production schedule. So, we might have some fabric in stock, and I'm like, oh, you know what? We should use that. We should cut it up. So, I put it into production, and then I'm just waiting for the production manager to let me know when stuff's going to be ready. So, there's actually a couple more things coming out this season that aren't part of the regularly regular scheduled program. But watch out for it. You'll get some announcements here. That said, I think I'll be back in Canada in October. I'm not sure when, but sometime in October we are planning on going back. So we'll be back at HQ. We'll be able to we'll be able to show you a lot of the stuff from the perspective of the HQ. That is, there's a lot more faded jeans there, samples that I don't even have my hands on. So you will see. Brandon, in fact, sent me a photo the other day of the Matrix samples, and so that's coming soon too. That's coming very soon too. That's another release scheduled. It's kind of in the air right now. I don't have a date for it yet, but that's coming. All right. We've got a lot of folks from all around the world in the house. Waha Bueni too. Hi from Taiwan. Glad to join the live stream. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Before this whole pandemic hit us, my wife and I were keen on going to Taiwan. In fact we bought another Taiwan tourist book, tourism book the other day. We're very excited to go to Taiwan, and it was one of our first destinations planned when we moved here, and boom. Like we really settled into Japan in February 2020, like at the end of the month, and and by like mid-March, the world shut down. So it really messed with our travel schedule. All right, let's check out a couple more questions. Matthew Bradwell writes, 6 whole minutes and no crossover requests. I'll start. A Spyderco knife collab would rule. You're both connected to North American production with Japanese textiles. We are in discussions with a couple of knife manufacturers. We do have the Higi no Kami knives. We have a new batch of them coming in probably maybe like a month or so. But we are in discussions with, like American-made kind of like really top-tier knife manufacturers. So it's coming. From the discussions we've been having, the production time kind of wait list on some of this stuff is long. Like one company we spoke to was like, yeah, we're like backed up for 2 years. So it's all coming. It's all planned. We've definitely hear you. We've had that request more than a few times. So it's something that we want to do. Garrett actually is a pretty speaking of knives. Garrett over at Tate and Yoko, he's a knife guy. He likes his knives. I like him just fine. Garrett tells me what's a cool knife, and I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool. That's the one I want to get. The thing about knives here in Japan is you can't really have them. Like you can own them in your home, but like you cannot carry a knife outside. Like even like a Swiss Army knife, it's illegal. Like you just cannot have them. And as a visa holder, I just don't want to mess with anything. Because if the cops because the cops can, they see you're a foreigner, they can stop you and they can ask you for your residency cards. Like that's perfectly legal for them to just stop you and ask you for your residency cards and stuff. And if they want, they can just, hey, what else you got on you? And if I had a knife on me, it'd be all over. I'd be deported. So I'm not interested in playing with that. So I haven't. In fact, my other knife, I forget which one it was, but I was my other good knife. I was getting on an airplane and I forgot I had it clipped to my pocket, and I forgot to put it in my check-in, and I had to give it up. They're like, no, you can't take that on board, and I didn't have. It's like, oh, you could mail it to yourself or whatever, and I was already late, and I'm like, oh, whatever, it's yours. It happens. But yeah, be careful when that happens. And also know your local knife laws. You don't want to get in any trouble. Avoid trouble. That's my motto in life. Avoid trouble. But yeah, I don't carry a knife here. Won't carry a knife here. So I haven't got my EDC knife here yet. Although I do have anyways, I there's some I'm looking at, but just knife laws here, very very restrictive. Butch Highway Ranger writes, he's from SoCal, USA. I have a hard time finding jackets and some shirts. Where can I shop and buy knowing items are in stock and available? Is there a direct link to buy from you? Absolutely. So we've got Naked Famous Denim NYC.com. You've got tateandyoko.com. So if you ever go to we got a lot of websites. If you go to nakedfamousdenim.com, if you hit shop now, it takes you to Tate and Yoko. Tate and Yoko is our main store in Montreal. It's a multi-brand store, but of course we carry the entire Naked Famous Denim range there. And that is your best bet to find everything. Nothing sell out, of course. And if you can't find something, another great place to look at is nakedfamousdenimnyc.com. They carry the current season and the core collection, so they tend not to have older items. And if you go to nakedfamousdenim.com, there's in the news section, for every release, and this is mostly for jeans, for every release there is a blog post, and the blog post will contain a list of all of the retailers carrying that item. So say you can't find something, like if you're looking for maybe even an older item in a particular fit, you can find the blog post and you can see all the retailers that have it. And sometimes, especially smaller retailers, they don't often have the social media or the Google search reach of some larger retailers. And it might be hard. If you Google search a particular product that we make, you'll find it on certain retailers. But sometimes smaller retailers, it might be on page 3, might be on page 4, a little bit harder to find. But if you check out the blog post, it lets you know. I've got the links right to their store. You go to their store, and you can see if they still have those in stock. And sometimes the smaller retailers have older things in stock, so it's a good place to check there as well. Fossil Draws writes, there's a reason Japanese courts have a 99% conviction rate. You do not want to see one of their judges. You do not want to see one of their judges. And just to elaborate a little bit more on that, and it's true. It's like 99 or 98% conviction rate. The reason for that, apparently, and this is what they say, is because they won't prosecute you unless they're pretty sure they're going to get you. So because I guess nobody wants to fail. So if they're not particularly confident in the case, I mean really confident, they'll let you go with a warning or something. So there is a way out, but like one thing the cops can do here is like hold you for like basically a month without bail or like access to a lawyer or anything. Like if you get in trouble with the cops here, you're in trouble. You just avoid trouble. Don't. I'm not in that realm, but I've known people. Maybe they had a little bit of weed or something with them, and they get in big time trouble. That is not. You don't mess with any of that stuff here. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Just it's not the same. The Japanese cops here, they don't hassle you. They're. But if they want to get you, they're gonna get you. So just be good. Be good. Don't mess around. Branddog 124 writes, yeah. Rev Edwards Lyons writes, love all your work at Naked and Famous Denim. Great product and great customer service. That's what we pride ourselves on. We certainly try to do our best with customer service. Let's talk about a couple customer service stories this week because Garrett's been on holiday and I've been in our customer service, answering emails a little bit more this week. Had a couple of good ones. I do enjoy like solving problems, but let me just, if you're watching this, here's another just great tip. Don't threaten people in customer service conversations. Like I want to help you even if you threaten me, but like it's not because of your threat that I'm helping you, and it just makes me not want to help you. It really is like I have to fight myself. I'm just like, oh, screw this guy. But there's the sense part of your brain, and then there's caveman part of your brain, and you have to shut caveman part off sometimes. And threats are never good. Even if it's I will have instances where it's 100% the customer's fault. You can tell it's 100% the customer's fault. Especially if you've looked at worn in and raw and faded jeans for over a decade. I know what they look like, right? I know what, how fades kind of look like. And, you might see a pair of jeans that is clearly looks like they fell just because of the way the fade pattern on that jean is. And they're like, well, these jeans are defective. Stitching came undone. And it's like, stitching's not indestructible. You know that. This is just cotton, right? It's not, it's not titanium or, some kind of, super material. This is a thin string of cotton. And they're, and it's just like, I've owned multiple pairs of raw jeans and this never happens. And I'm like, I don't own, but, I've got a warehouse of a couple 20,000 pairs. I know what raw jeans do. I mean, if you kind of come from that angle, I mean, that's not really, it's kind of funny when somebody tells me that. I know about raw denim. I'm like, cool. I do too. So who wins? Like, it's just this weird argument. Like they're coming from like an argument of authority, And I'm like, well, I'm not using that argument against you. I'm just trying to tell you what the situation is. But regardless, I'm always going to try and find a solution for you. But always come in apologetic if you know it's your fault. And you're going to get way better service. And you're not going to make us feel like... You're not going to make us feel like we don't want to help you. Like, we do want to help you, but sometimes if these emails are very, like, rudely or strongly worded or accusatory, believe me, it's like, you know, we're chatting amongst ourselves like, ugh, what do we, like, how do we approach this? Like, because you don't want to engage with someone who is kind of engaging in bad faith. You know what I mean? So it makes this stressful situation for us. We certainly don't want to be in that spot. And ultimately, like I said, we always want to help you. So always come in from a positive, or just don't be so crass. Anywhere, you're never gonna win. You're never. No, that's not true. I have to say, some people win, but it's not because you're crass. It's because we are just. That's just the way we operate. But yeah, just one of those things. Like there's a couple problems I had to fix this week. One of them, which was one of them, it was a pretty simple one, but sometimes again, you come in with like this there's this perception of we're ignoring you, and I'm like, check your email filters. And it was like the problem was solved over a month ago, and they were apologetic, which was fine, and which I'm just happy that we could come to that resolution. But check your email filters. Sometimes the answer is there. You'd be surprised how many times the answer is there, and you get, hey, you've been ignoring me. We're like, no, we actually took care of it real quick. And again, if I'm happy everything got resolved, but sometimes it starts off really negative, and don't start negative. Don't start negative. Negativity doesn't get you positivity from us. We always provide positivity. I don't know. I want to tell stories, but I don't want to put anybody on blast, so I'm trying to be as generic as possible. Sorry if that wasn't very entertaining. But my point is, definitely don't come at us like we're trying to screw you. It's just not. It's not our angle. It's a Name writes, if I am a size 28. Sanforized weird guy, what size should I buy unsanforized in the 32-ounce denim? My answer to almost all sizing questions is check the measurement guide. So just because you're a size 28 weird guy, that doesn't really mean much. Because you're a size 28 weird guy, you've worn them, you've washed them, maybe. You haven't washed them, I don't know. They've stretched out, they've shrunk. Whatever the situation is, that 28 weird guy that you are currently wearing fits differently than a brand new pair of weird guys. So my suggestion is you take that jean, you measure it, and then you compare those measurements to the 32-ounce denim, and then you go from there. But yeah, doing size for size comparisons, that will definitely get you into trouble. I know. I know it makes sense, right? I wear a 32 in this, I wear a 32 in that. And for the most part, you're going to be correct. But avoid, doing the 10 minutes of work, that's required to do the measurements and to do the comparison is going to save you so much time if there's any discrepancy in sizing, right? If there's any discrepancy in sizing, you're going to have to go through that return process. You don't want to go through the return process. We try to make it as easy as possible, but you don't really want to go through it. It's annoying. You want to get the jean that you want to wear it, you want to enjoy it right away. You don't want to have to get it, go through the process, send it back, wait for the confirmation, have to order another pair. Avoid the trouble. Do the measurements. You won't screw up if you do the measurements. You can screw up if you just assume. So do those measurements. Fossil Draws writes, be nice to people, especially if they're helping you. Yes. And if they're not helping you, my advice is, you know, there comes a point in any kind of customer service situation where it's like telling them off doesn't bring you anything, and you're not like just walk away. That's it. You say, okay, thank you, bye, I'm done. Right? I'm not. Why get frustrated over this? You know, we've all been there. You know, whether it's at the airport or wherever. You know, something screws up, and you really feel upset, and it's just like, we've seen it. We've seen people freak out. Save yourself the time. Save yourself the frustration. Take the L. Just move on. You know, it's not the end. Whatever it is not the end of the world. So there's no point in getting frustrated over nothing. But yeah, definitely be nice to the people who are trying to help you, especially if they want to help you. There's no point in being aggressive. Peter K writes, any plans for carpenter jeans? I don't think so. I wasn't a fan of them growing up. And I understand if you're a carpenter that they make sense, but there has been some kind of like streetwear resurgence of carpenter jeans, but I think that's also not. I don't think that even is around anymore. Sometimes these streetwear like fads, they just come and go real fast, and I think carpenter jeans was one of them. So yeah, it's not really for me. You know, we try to make more modern fits. And carpenter jeans seem to, I think, only work if you're a carpenter. If you're gonna actually be a carpenter, sure. But we're not making workwear. So I just don't see us doing that. It's not something I would wear personally unless I was carpenting, which I cannot do because I have no skills there. So yeah, probably not. There's a really long name that I can't say. AKA Larry. Oh, AKA Larry and Serg. AKA Larry and Serg. Is there a blog post on the natural seed? I'm pretty sure there is a blog post on the natural seed with the retailers. I remember doing a video. On that one. So yeah, there's definitely a post. HRZ or HRZ, depends where you are in the world. What are we writing here? Yo, B. Yo. I can't resist to buy jeans from Tate & Yoko and Twill since they're on sale. Have been store couple brand new. Oh, have brand new pairs of my own. Gonna wear them. I think there's a little bit of, I'm just trying to figure out exactly what you're trying to say. I can't resist buying jeans from Tate & Yoko and Twill since they're on sale. And I guess that you have a couple of pairs on ice in your closet. Yeah, I mean, it is the nature of the game. Look, if there's something that you particularly want, you know, maybe there's a special style out there, sure. But look, you know, maybe this is not, as a business person, maybe this is not the right thing to say, but, you know, if there's something that you don't particularly need at the moment, maybe wait for something else. You know, because we always put out there's always new stuff coming. You know, we've got the whole release schedule, so you know what's coming. So if you find that, hey, you know, it's a good opportunity right now, sure, you know, pick it up. If you've got stuff on ice, stuff that you haven't worn, maybe give some of those items some love. I mean, if you actually plan on wearing them. Maybe sometimes you have stuff in the closet that you're like, yeah, maybe I could sell this or whatever. Sure, you know what? Maybe get the new pair then. But weigh it out. You know, you can't have everything. There's a couple of fans out there that seem to have everything. Thanks so much, by the way. You guys are you're maniacs in an amazing way. I mean, look, I'm a collector, so I know what it's like. But we're not all collector. Maybe if you're watching this stream, you're in collector mentality. So But if you're new to Naked Famous Denim, as I'm sure there are some viewers out there who are, don't feel obligated to get and grab everything. Get a pair, wear it, enjoy it. I know what it's like. I've been there. I've been. You get into a new hobby and you go nuts. I have a million collections of a million different things. Believe me, I have a lot of stuff. But as a veteran collector of things, here's some good advice. It's not a bad thing to have stuff. I'm not of that mentality, but I think it's important to have good stuff. Or the stuff that you're going to enjoy more. Because when you get into collecting, there comes a point where you buy the item that you want, and then there's maybe some other items that you start picking up over time. Great, but some of those items in that pile, maybe you're picking them up just because you're kind of fulfilling this, want to grow your collection. And then you get to a point where you've collected enough and you're a little bit more discerning. And you see that there are certain items in your collection that are not bringing you, to quote, I'm not going to quote her, but maybe they don't bring you the joy that the Marie Kondo thing, sparks joy. I don't like that, but I guess it's true. There might be some items in that collection that just, they're not doing it for you. And, that the value stored in those items could be used elsewhere. So, you start whittling down the collection a little bit. You sell a couple items to buy another item, a nicer item. So instead of maybe getting those little in-between pieces, just bank it and get the pieces that you really want. And I know the thing is, it takes time to understand that. But maybe that's just the cost of getting to that point. But we all get to that point at some time. And if the sooner you can realize it, the more curated your collection will be. So there's some advice there on collecting. Evan Kellner, what supports you more, buying a pair from Tatenyoko or another shop? You know what? It's really all the same to me. Support your local retailer if possible. Support us, directly if possible. Look, at the end of the day, the jeans are in your hands. That's all that matters to me. Business-wise, it's not much of a difference, but my main concern, my main point is that you guys get the products that you want. So shop anywhere you want, and support anybody who's gonna support us, because like retailers supporting us, they support you, and it's all a chain. You know what I mean? So without our retailer support, we can't spread the word the way that we do. And that's the truth. You know what I mean? Like we have our social media, and a lot of people think we're this giant brand. We're really not. We're really not. It takes our retail partners to help spread the word just as much as anything else that we do. When you've got a store in any given city, and you're the store, you're the denim store, your staff, the fact that your jeans are on the floor, you've got people coming in every day seeing it, you've got people talking about it, you've got people wearing it. These are things that we can't do. We can't do it without them. So our retail partners are very important for us. So however way you decide to support us, it is always appreciated. And one method doesn't support us more than the other. You can weigh out the there's monetary here, but you don't have the other stuff that the retailers give you as well. So it's all really the same. And at the end of the day, so long as you guys are wearing the jeans, enjoying the jeans, that's all that matters to me. I don't. You buy them on eBay. It doesn't matter. I just want you. I just want you in our stuff, and I want you enjoying it. Fossil Jaws writes, I own a good amount of denim. Only 2 pairs of Naked and Famous, but I find I wear them more than any of my other quote-unquote Okayama 5 brands. It's the way it is. You end up wearing and using the things that you like. I like headphones. It's one of the things that I enjoy. And I have like four pairs of like kind of quote unquote higher end ones, and I have a lot of earbuds. Like I have a drawer full of them. I used to buy them all the time. But yeah, it's just like you get to the point where just like anything else, you've got one set of ears, and there's like really two sets of headphones that I actually use. The other ones barely. I just kind of, I use them when I feel like testing out something, but there's dollars tied up in that otherwise could have bought me a even higher end headphone that there comes points in your life where you're like, I would never spend that much money on something, and then you realize that you have actually spent that amount of money on multiple things that you don't use. So I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the thing that I want, and I'm not going to do so many incremental upgrades. But we're not all in that position. But just another bit of advice, try to hold out and get the item that you want. If you need something right away, you got to get it. But, there in a lot of worlds, whether it's hi-fi or, apparel or whatever, there always comes a point where like there's a great price point for a product that does so much better than everything underneath it, and it does just as much as a lot of products above it. Try to find those products as starter products. They're a little bit more expensive, but they will carry you forward for so long. And I feel like Naked Famous is definitely in that realm. You get a lot of bang for your buck. You really do. When I was just starting in raw denim, a pair of Selvedge jeans, $300. It was $300 for a pair. It didn't matter where you went. It was always $300. And like when Naked and Famous came out, when it first came out, I was the first employee, but I was not there at the very start. I was aware of it, but I wasn't there. And I bought a pair from a store in Toronto. I found out about the brand through like some online forums and things like that. Right when it first was announced, I'm like, wow, they had Selvedge. We had Selvedge jeans out for like $118. This is like 2008, so quite a while ago. Inflation, but we're talking other Selvedge jeans. When I was working at Holt Renfrew, we had Selvedge jeans for $300. And I had a discount at Holt Renfrew. I could buy anything I wanted for a very substantial discount. And I went to the other store, and I bought the Naked Famous jeans for $118 because the value was so incredible. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how low the price was for these jeans. And later on, actually, like a few weeks later, where I was working at Holt Renfrew, we ended up getting Naked Famous in the store, and that's how I met Brandon and how our relationship began. And it was mind-boggling to me that we could put out a product at that price point, and I thought it was really fantastic, really, really tremendous. And to be fair, the story, maybe I've told the story, maybe I haven't told the story, but the first seasons of Naked Famous Denim, our prices were a little bit too low, and let me tell you why. So when Brandon was first getting started and trying to get the brand off the ground, he was calling Japan basically every day, trying to get a call, like trying to speak to somebody at a denim mill, and every time he would call, no English. Hang up the phone. Sorry, no English. Hang up the phone. And Brandon was just calling English. Hey, can somebody help me? English. I want to buy fabric. And eventually, he gets on the phone with somebody, and they're speaking okay English, and they send Brandon a price list. So Brandon makes the entire collection, does everything based off this price list. Turns out, prices were all wrong. They were all too low. But the person who was dealing with Brandon was the son of the owner. So the prices went through. So we ended up probably selling things for a little bit less. Like at $118, it was probably should have been, a little bit more expensive. But yeah, the first seasons, the prices were a little bit wonky. But that's not to say that our prices haven't remained low. I mean, we still have jeans, Selvedge jeans coming. I think our Indigo Selvedge is like 135 or 140 bucks. The price of that jean has barely changed since the start of Naked and Famous Denim. You know, we always want to make sure that we have like a very very strong opening price point jean for people, that you can get into a Selvedge denim product, Japanese denim, made in Canada, for a great price point. We're every time, you know, me and Brandon are talking about like the next season's production, it's always like, here's what we want to make, and here's the price we want to make it for, and that's just always a mission for us. You know, luckily we have grown over the years, and you know, we have a very strong audience that allows us to do a certain level of production. So we're not the Gap. We're not doing hundreds of millions of meters of fabric every year. It's just not who we are. Maybe one day, but we do have your support so that we can hit certain minimums to do this type of stuff. And you know, we take a small margin to allow our prices to be, you know, very competitive out there in the world. So, you know, we're certainly a more volume driven brand, and because of that, we can offer you you know, better prices. So, you know, just going back to the start of this, you know, when it comes to like finding the best product at the best price point, every category's got it. I think we hit that in the raw denim world. You know, we certainly are a big contender out there in that price point. So yeah. I Crescendo writes, what would be a nice first time Naked and Famous denim jean in your opinion? If you're gonna start off with us, here are the ones that I often recommend. Left hand twill Selvedge, you can't go wrong. It's the jean I've worn, it's the raw Indigo jean that I've worn the most of any other Naked and Famous jean ever. You know, I've been wearing that for years, and every time I think to put on a new pair, I wear it for a while, and then I just go back to my left hand twills. They need a lot of repair at this point. They've been worn heavily. I've also worn Black Power Stretch a lot. I've gone through a couple of pairs of those. I've just grown. But Black Power Stretch, I highly recommend that jean as well. If you're looking for a black skinny jean, you can't go wrong with Black Power Stretch. You really can't go wrong with any of our black denim options. Black Power Stretch, Black Cobra, or Solid Black Selvedge. All great starter options for you. The Black Cobra and the Solid Black Selvedge, especially if you want Selvedge. If that's not really your concern and you just want like a good stretchy skinny, Black Power Stretch, definitely a great starter pair. But for raw Indigo starters, left hand twill, dirty fade Selvedge, natural Indigo Selvedge. So that's kind of a gradient there. So like the left hand twill is the darkest. The dirty fade is kind of like a medium, like kind of a. It kind of looks a little bit more natural Indigo. It's kind of got a warmer tone to it. And then we have what did I say? The natural Indigo Selvedge. So that's the more vintagey looking style. It's kind of a very warmish hue. Do I have maybe I have a pair here. Yeah, I do, and oh, there we go. Wow, would you look at that? I got them all right here for you. So this is the left-hand twill Selvedge. You can see, sorry, the light is coming from there, but this is the darkest, you know, kind of raw, very, very classic dark raw. The contrast is a little tough. Hopefully you can see it properly. And then you've got the dirty fade. You can see it's kind of more of a mid, it's not exactly a mid blue, but it's a little bit warmer in tone here. You can tell, you know, dark, a little bit warmer in tone. And then you've got the natural Indigo Selvedge. So let's try to do that stack here so you can see the gradient come through. So something like this. Very awkward. So yeah, you can see how that kind of color gradation goes. So it kind of depends on you on which way you want to go. This is definitely more vintage looking, and you can see the comparison of the colors here, right? And then here's just a comparison, better comparison with the dirty fade. So these are you know, in Pokemon language, these are your starters, right? Pick one. You can't go wrong with any of them. But I'm a Bulbasaur kind of guy. This is my Bulbasaur. So those are some great starter pairs for you. Matthew Bradwell, LOL. Mary Kondo sells a $200 tuning fork. Sounds about right. Brandog 124 writes, you know, we make a jean called the Black Power Stretch. Remember, never make a white power stretch. LOL. Yes, no question about that. You know, we did once make a white version of that jean, and we just called it Ivory Power Stretch. We knew what trouble we were avoiding with that one. No question about that. Yeah. Fossil Draws writes, I think we all gained a size or two through COVID. Oh, I definitely did. It was. I mean, I think a lot of, for most of us, a lot of the same reason. Like, just the working from home aspect of things. I've got snacks, sitting at my desk all day. You know, at least at the office, I got to get up. I got to get out of bed. I got to go. You know, go to the office. And then when I'm there, I'm up and about. I'm in, you know, doing stuff all day. I'm walking around. So here, I mean, I probably get like 10 steps a day. Like, I'm here my butt is here all day. Like this week, I don't know where the time has gone, and like 16-hour days were probably pretty common. Like I was just planted to this desk. Yeah, it's tough. You know, when you work from home and when you're like workaholic brain, like you get an email, you know, you could be eating lunch and you see the email, you're like, oh, I gotta handle it, I gotta do it, and like it is actually hard for me to like leave something. Like if something is not completed, my brain is always like, you have to finish it. It has to be done. So, yeah, I'm planted here, and it's just the way I work. I guess it's just the way I am. But it prevents me from doing other things, which are sometimes necessary. Yeah. Okay. DL Thorne, 1989. Been wearing my MIJ7s for almost 8 months, and they're basically sweatpants. Love the Yahan color. Fantastic. Very, you know, the loose weave denim really does, it really softens up very, very nicely over time. Speaking of the Yahan color, I have the Yahans here. So this also just came out today. The Yahan Power Stretch. Here we go. It's the pocket flasher Yahan Power Stretch. So when you get your pair, it'll look something like that. Very, very cool jean. So just like the MIJ7. So if you like, you know, the MIJ7 is a little bit more hardcore, you know, 100% cotton, very, very slubby denim. But if you want something that's a little bit more, you know, casual, contemporary, this is definitely the way to go. 11 ounces, so nice kind of all year weight, maybe a little bit light for certain climates, but if you're not hanging out outside, you know, if you're mostly inside, like a lot of people are during the wintertime, you know, it's just going to be a comfortable, lighter weight denim for you. And so you've got the 11 ounce and you've got the 4% power stretch. So if you've ever worn our power stretch denim before, you know the give that fabric has, and you know its snap back, you know, ability. So it always holds its shape really nice. And when you put these jeans on, you know, they feel a little bit crispy. You put them on, you're like, whoa, okay, like you're just in comfort land at that point. And then you've got the fading abilities of like this almost black denim that fades to blue. So it's got a lot of like stuff going on here. So for a like maybe not so hardcore jean, it still has like hardcore fading properties. My like thought process for this jean was like we needed something for just like the everyday kind of person, you know. They're like the 11 ounce power stretch. Like there's a lot of just like, you know, folks out there, they're not so concerned about like having the most hardcore jean, the most rigid jean. They just want a clean pair of comfortable dark indigo jeans, and this is definitely for them. Of course, you've got great fading, and if you want to go hardcore, like wear it hardcore, you can. But this also just appeals to a kind of a mass audience. You know, everybody needs a good pair of clean dark indigo jeans, and this is definitely a great option if you're looking for that. So I'm happy that this one came out today. The ladies versions come out in a few weeks, September 17th. But like I posted on Instagram today, we had you know, one of our staff members wearing the Easy Guy. So like even our men's fits, like they do work for ladies. It just depends. You know people. There is this, you know, men's, ladies jeans. It doesn't really, you know, you wear whatever fits you. And, you know, I was just, you know, we're just showing how, you know, we do get a lot of ladies in our men's jeans. So don't, you know, you don't have to shop just because it says men's and ladies. And it's all, you know, there because, I don't know, it's just the way it is, I guess. But, wear whatever fits, and you'd be surprised. You know, we've got I know a lot of guys lately, they've been getting into our ladies classic fit. That's like a higher rise straight leg denim. And we're probably going to start adding bigger sizes to that so that we can make that like a really true, you know, option for anybody. And that might happen with more fits depending on, you know, how people are shopping for them. All right, we've got some Everything Man writes Godzilla crossover, Godzilla, Rodan, King Kong. I wouldn't mind. You know, one time we did have a sorry about that. We had a brief conversation with the people at Toho, the people who make the Godzilla films. So maybe we you know what? I had a talk with somebody who wanted us to do a new Toxic Avenger, because for those people who don't know, the Toxic Avenger is being remade by Legendary Films, the same people who did the newer Western Godzilla and King Kong movies. So Legendary Pictures is doing the new Toxic Avenger. And they were asking us if we wanted to do something for that, and it was I don't know. We did the Toxic Avenger already. I'm gonna see the new one for sure. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that that is coming out, and that a wider audience will know what the Toxic Avenger is. I don't know if we need to do another one, but I'm happy that we did the one that we did. In fact, it's on whatever is left is actually on sale, and I think there's a couple of Toxic Avenger jackets on the website. I think they're half off right now. So, anyways, if I don't know if I mentioned it, but there is a Labor Day sale going on at Tate Nyoko and Naked Famous Denim NYC. What do we got? We got a buy one get one 50% off on like select denim. So there's a group of a selection of jeans that you can mix and match and buy one and get the second one 50% off. And then there is all of our sale section usually it's 20%, 40%, 60% off. Now it's 30%, 50%, 70%. So we marked all of our sale items down a little bit more for you, and then I added a bunch of new items to those sale categories, sale percentages. So take advantage. It's on now until September the 7th. So if there's something you like, go and check it out. Brand Dog Run 124 writes, please, I need more Toxic Avenger. Please, I need more Toxic Avenger. I was watching in the few minutes I did have this week to actually sit and watch something. I watched a Lloyd Kaufman video on filmmaking. He was just talking about the trauma method and how they do things, and I love I love the trauma method. I feel that there's so much in common between us and trauma, and just like a do-it-yourself kind of mentality. And big budget is great, and having the best videos and all that stuff, it's fine. But like like I was saying earlier, sometimes it comes to a point where it's just kind of it's good enough, and maybe our videos could certainly be better. I'm working on it, but we're very scrappy in this sense. Like, we do everything ourselves. It's a lot of work, but we get to have control over it ultimately. Sometimes I find, like, when we do relinquish a little bit of control, there's things don't come out exactly the way you want it. And then that's not to say that I make things exactly the way I want it, but maybe there's the fact that I made it, there's some satisfaction there. And I also I think you guys appreciate the way we make videos too. I don't want to spend. Presently, we spend no money making these videos, so it's not like I have to build the cost of all that stuff into the price of the products. We hire somebody else, that stuff has to get built in. But we don't have to hire another. Maybe at some point, like, maybe we have to actually hire a staff member who's going to be the video person and putting that all together. So we'll maybe one day we'll get there, but we have to grow. We have to grow. But for now, it's just me and Risa. Risa does all the recording, and I do all the editing and talking. There are 3-minute videos, but they take me. I mean, I'm not the best video maker. It takes me quite a while actually to put those together. Jacob Bunchholt. I hope I'm saying that right. Any updates on the secret anime collab? When I was talking to you guys earlier about, a lot of back and forth with these companies and approvals take a long time, we're still in that process. This is probably one of the slowest ones we've ever had to deal with. Nothing is signed, nothing is agreed to yet. It is still very much a sniff. Like, I think they're just sniffing us out to make sure we're like the right company for them. So that's taking some time, and I get this. We'll see. We will see. I'm optimistic that it's going to happen, but we will certainly see. Brand Dog 124 writes, my winter fit will be the unbranded 21 ounce and the Toxic Avenger jacket. Good combination. As soon as September 1st hit here, the temperature dropped from being 35 every day to being 22. And the last couple of days have been kind of rainy and gloomy and cool, and I've been enjoying it. It's been so hot recently, and I'm looking forward to being able to put on a denim jacket. And going outside. I was just absolutely avoiding going outside because of the heat. I just cannot stand the heat. But the cool air, no problem. And it's definitely jean jacket time in a lot of places. And hopefully here soon I won't bust out my Toxic Avenger jacket. It's been a while. Electric Bamboogaloo 2 writes, I was very pleased with the jacket for the Toxic Avenger. I was wondering as well if there would be a new version of the Toxic Denim. Oh, I mean, well, there. I hope maybe I already answered you, but I'm a little hesitant to do it again, just because it's you kind of do it and then it's done. But maybe there's room to I don't know. I'm kind of in the I don't know. I love Toxic Avenger, don't get me wrong, but I think once something's done, it's done. It's like I'm not gonna do another Ghostbusters, right? Like, it's done. I did it. Nick N writes, any chance for more colors of the Cordovan cardholders? Yeah, I could see that. I'd have to talk to Brandon. Brandon actually handles a lot of the leather stuff. Sometimes, things just occur, and he's like, hey, we got a bunch of new colors in. I'm like, okay, well, now I know. So I'll ask him if he's got anything planned. He usually has something up his sleeve. Any updates on the Nightmare Freddy denim? The only update I can give you is that I don't have an update yet. I don't have an update on release. There's again, we're just in like the final approvals process for stuff, and this is where we've got things aren't moving as fast as we want them to. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on that one. It is coming this fall. I just don't have a release date set for it. I wanted to release it with the Friday the 13th. Don't know if that's happening, but yeah. Electric Bamboo Glue 2 writes, Toxie with stretch. I don't know. I really think we nailed it with the first, like, triple alternating twill, organic cotton with a greenish weft. If that isn't the toxic Avenger denim, like, in fact, could this be true? Yeah, maybe. Maybe the toxic Avenger denim is the most character, like, perfect denim we've ever made. Like, other ones are pretty good. I think we've done a pretty good job representing them, but I think up to date, the Toxic Avenger denim one is like the most, like, absolutely spot on, like triple deformed, denim, like triple alternating twill, like super deformed looking. I think it's pretty good. If only it was radioactive, that would make the biggest difference. Okay, aka Larry and Serg writes, I think Naked Famous has a bias against bootcut. This is the third time I've asked whether Groovy Guy will ever get new fabrics. This week, I was talking to a retailer about doing a solid black Selvedge version. So it's on my mind. I think the solid black Selvedge will happen. So yeah, there will be more. Look, Groovy Guy isn't exactly our most popular fit. I like it. And I know there's a couple of you out there who enjoy it. But yeah, we will get around to adding a little bit more here and there. We are not, I wish I could make everything and everything. Believe me, I wish we could. But we're just not that big. We're not that big. Hopefully one day, but we aren't that big. At one point, we used to not offer everything and super weird and easy guy. There used to be a time where certain fabrics were only available in certain fits. And it took me a lot of arm twisting to get, Brandon to agree to make everything and everything. And we had to really expand our warehouse a lot just to do that. So yeah. Look, I hear you, and this is why we do these things. I want to do it. I want to have more Groovy Guy options. It'll be slow, I admit to that. The solid black will probably happen. I'll try to have it happen by the end of the year. On Monday, I'll put in a PO for it, and we can at least get a black version out there. We've got the left-hand twill, we got the natural indigo, and then we'll have the solid black Selvedge. I think, there's options there for, I guess, every kind of color you could want to enjoy in that. And then we'll see, maybe there'll be room for a Japan heritage or a very, slubby model or something like that. We'll get there. Thomas Truillo writes, what about a crazy Frankenstein 5? Well, the Toxic Avenger kind of is the Frankenstein 5. Where would we take it from there? I'm not really sure. Elijah Wood wears raw denim. We need him in Naked and Famous. All right. Well, you let him know. If he's a raw denim lover, he probably knows about us. But if he's, I have to say that sometimes, you might see these famous people and they're wearing certain things. some of them aren't, maybe so keen on like, too much about the brands that they wear. It just happened to be the thing that they liked at the store they were shopping at, or maybe some stylist gave it to them. Yeah, whether they're like true fans or not, who knows? But yeah, I mean, maybe he'll come across our jeans at some point. Invest Ian writes, hidden selvage pocket, not exposed on those black groovy guys. You got it. That's my style. I definitely had a couple of comments out there saying that some people really prefer the exposed coin, selvage coin pocket. Yeah, I thought there would be more like people in my maybe there are. I mean, you don't really know what comments. It's just that people comment because they comment. But yeah, I really wonder what the split is on how people feel about that. Personally, I like having hidden details. It's just something I really like. Sometimes I just like details for me. Like, I know it's there. For me, I really like details like that. Like details that are, they're there and like almost nobody will know about them. But I know about them. Like, I had a Criterion collection set. There's a Lone Wolf and Cub, and I don't know where it is. Anyways, it's a Blu-ray set, and it actually had like a hidden compartment in the Blu-ray box that had like a little poster, and I didn't even know about it until somebody on a forum mentioned it, and so I opened it up. I'm like, whoa! Like, there's a thing, and like they don't even talk about it. Like, they don't even mention it. It's an actual secret detail, and I was like, whoa, that is so cool. Also, for like sneaker collectors, I thought this was a cool detail. For Bape, if you collect bathing ape shoes, I don't know if they still do it, but back in the day, when when you have a sneaker box, you open it up, and then you have like those side panels, and like they all kind of interlock together to keep the box in its shape. For Bape sneakers, if you undid that, there would be some graphics underneath, and I remember discovering that because it's why print all these graphics inside the box where somebody's never going to see it? Because like who undoes their box, right? I mean, some people do, I guess, and that's how they figured it out. But I thought that was such a cool little nerdy detail. So I always like hidden details that, if you know, you know. So like for me, a hidden selvage coin pocket is one of those things where it's like it's actually excessive to put the selvage there. I don't need to put it there. I could have a regular coin pocket, non-selvage, and like I wouldn't actually have to waste. It's actually a little bit wasteful in a sense to do a selvage coin pocket. It's not necessary to be selvage. And so to make it hidden, it's like, number one, it's already excessive, and then you hide it. You hide this excessive detail. I think that's kind of cool. That's just my thought process there. Of course, some people want to show it off. Okay, I get it, but like maybe that's what roll the cuff. Yeah. Eric Schwartz writes, would love to see how the Nightshade selvage fades. What is the fade potential of that denim? Next week, tune in and I will show you. I have a pair that I've worn for a while. They're not like the most faded pair, but you'll get a good idea of maybe I put like, there's probably like 6 months of effective wear on that. Like, but yeah, it's actually a very, very nice fading denim. You'll see. I'm not gonna run to the back and try to dig it out. It's somewhere, but yeah. Branddog124 writes, are you guys gonna make more recycled products? Yes. Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. I really like the recycled denim that we did. We've done it multiple times. We will continue to do more options like that. They're not the most high fade potential jeans, but I think they are still really, really cool looking denim fabrics, and I think a lot of people will appreciate them. Trevor L, I have never seen a fade example of the Toxic Avengers. Any ideas where I might be able to see that? Haven't been able to take mine off lately. Check our Instagram. I'm pretty sure we had some fade images of those on our Instagram. I'm pretty sure they're there. Pretty sure. All right. Seeing if I'm missing any questions here. Phoenix Dueland writes, any Matrix updates? We're just in the final approval process right now, but it's looking good that they will be out before Christmas. So I'm in my head, it's like some kind of November release, but I don't have a specific date on that just yet. Nicholas B.O. writes, I'm finally about to get the tatamis. Looks choice. Very, very cool denim fabric. I think they're definitely part of the Labor Day sale right now. So yeah, you can save a few bucks if you want to get the tatami denim right now. It's really, really very, very awkward, like not awkward, but unusual fabric. For a while we were putting out a lot of those like really out there kind of Japanese inspired denim fabrics, and the tatami one really was a next level fabric. Definitely doesn't look like a typical, well, I mean, you put them on from far, it looks like a typical pair of jeans, but like when you get up close and you see that fabric, you'll see that there's a lot more going on here than you expect. All right, there was I'm just trying to think if there was another thing I was supposed to talk about today. I don't remember, but let's take a look at some previews. We've got some previews to cover. What do we got? We have this, definitely we've got to take a look at. And there are a couple of shirts that we just released. These two, the herringbones. Sorry, the Houndstooth shirts. First up, the Crimson Sky Denim. So this is coming out. We're releasing it next Friday. So Friday, what is it? We're looking at the 14th? No, Friday the 10th. The 10th of September. These are going to be coming out pretty soon. The Crimson Sky Selvedge. And somebody was asking earlier about the Nightshade Stretch Selvedge. So this denim here is actually made based on the Nightshade Stretch Selvedge construction. So if you're familiar with the Nightshade Stretch Selvedge, they will feel the same in terms of just the way the fabric wears. But what makes this denim so special is, well, two things. One, you got that red weft interior. So beautiful crimson red on the inside here. I like whenever we do a colored weft, like they do well, but whenever we do red weft, like that's the one people love the most, and you can see why, because I mean it really just pops so nicely. And one thing about this colored weft denim that I think is the most special feature is that you don't see it on the front of the denim. Like whenever you get a colored weft denim, you always see that color kind of peek through the twill lines of the jeans. But for this fabric, you don't see that at all. Like, I think I forgot to set up my secondary camera, but maybe we can get a little bit close here. And you can see that through the twill lines, you don't see that red. And that's because this denim has an extra coating on top. So it's indigo over dyed. So you've got indigo rope dye with an indigo coating on top. So you've got that extra layer of indigo. And that's what makes this denim look kind of wet and just like really dripping with indigo. It's kind of got this like I'm trying to think of the right word, but like wet is definitely it. It is just coated and soaked in indigo here. And so you've got that really cool, sleek indigo look, real dark, real sharp, and then you pop the cuff and you see that, and I think it's a great detail. And here's a cool detail. Hopefully I don't hit the mic when I do this. So you can see here, you've got the Selvedge ID, right? And here's how you can really tell that this denim is coated. So you can see the Selvedge ID here. I'm just trying to line up the camera properly. And then when you pull back the selvage, you can see how white it is, right? You can see how white that is there. So, that's what the color of the selvage should have been, right? But you can see that it's actually been coated on top. So it's blue here when it actually should have been white had it not been coated. So that extra coating fills in all the twill lines, all the creases in between the fabric with even more indigo. And you've just got this denim that is just absolutely soaked. And so you're going to get beautiful high contrast fading with this for sure. And you got that bright red leather patch, all the black hardware, exposed selvage coin pocket, like everybody here seems to love so much. So you've got, or maybe they prefer it hidden. I don't know. I prefer it hidden, but it is the people's choice here. Either way, I don't think it. It is one way or another. It's just we should have a debate, a real debate on on exposed or not. But I don't think there's one way to do it or another. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. Now these shirts, I remember showing these off like way back when we first got the samples, and these are two of my favorite shirts of the season. These Houndstooth shirts, and yeah, this is definitely how. Anyways, this is how we do it on the Naked Famous Denim live stream. I just hold stuff up, but I'll get some in-depth photos of these this week. But this fabric, this colorway, it's like so like to me, it's very like Wes Anderson-y, very like this kind of classic feel. It's brushed, it's super soft, and I mean the pattern is so nice. And sorry, this is not the ideal way to show this off, but we've got it in this great kind of brown. This to me is like very like country kind of feeling. Being out in the woods, nature. I love this shirt. I'm taking this sample. This one's mine. And then we have the black edition of it as well. So you've got that same pattern, that same brushed material, and the colors here are really great as well with the purple. I'm probably going to steal this one too. So I'm going to be enjoying these very, very much. I do enjoy, Wes Anderson and his films and his vibe. So some of that definitely plays into the kind of products that we make. Like even the corduroy ones. I mean, there's so many good shirts. I need to do a video. I know. But like these corduroy flannels, I showed these off last week, but like, look at that. What a cool flannel. Like corduroy and flannel mixed together. Now that's a fall shirt. Like that is a fall shirt. And then you've got the beige and blue version of that as well. So there's a lot of great options here. And we got some stories to tell. I know. There's just... I got to get to creating more content. It is definitely something I need to do. Okay. Fossil Jaws writes, I had to take a call. What jeans are these? The Crimson Sky Stretch Selvedge. They're coming out next Friday. Fossil Jaws writes, the word I was looking for is saturated. Yes, saturated. Absolutely. These jeans look saturated with indigo. They're soaked. They look wet, don't they? They just have this like wet look to them. I think these are gonna come out really nice. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what you guys do to them as you fade them out. This is gonna be one of those jeans like the Hanamis where we're gonna release them. I think they're gonna do well, and then there's gonna be some people who are like kind of on the fence about them. And when you start to see a lot of posts like on social media, like you'll see like, we get a lot of people like in the boots world, leather boots world, and they love posting photos of their boots with our jeans, especially when we have like colored wefts. And if you got like a nice, like kind of real sharp pair of like dark brown boots, it's gonna look really nice with these. And later on, I have a feeling that people are gonna be like, hey, when can I get these? When can I get these? I'm like, dude, we sold out of those like 2 months ago or like a year ago. Like this is gonna be one of those styles where like I know I'm gonna get hounded later on, like on where they can get them. So, anyways, if you don't have a colored weft denim, this is a great option for you. There's also the turmeric denim. So this one's coming out. So that's what that looks like, the turmeric denim. I don't remember when these are coming out. You'll have to check the release schedule. But this is the other colored weft denim of the season. And as you can see, you can see the color coming through the front face of the fabric here. Unlike the Crimson Sky. Sorry if the audio is going in and out, moving around too much. See, you can see how you can clearly see the yellow coming through the front face of the fabric, whereas on the Crimson Sky, it is just blue. It is only indigo. You don't see it coming through at all. So this is the turmeric dyed denim, dyed with it's a natural turmeric dye. Turmeric is a dye stuff that's been used for centuries, and this is going to be the other one, just like the Crimson Sky, like this with a pair of a nice pair of brown boots. Oh, these are going to look so nice. Look at that. These are going to look really nice cuffed up. So that, and the color coming through the front face of the fabric, it gives this denim a nice, very, very nice warm tone. I mean, you put it up with one of these, it's going to look really sharp. One of our warmer tone flannels, it's going to look great. And then you've got that suede leather patch to match. So yeah, there's a lot of bangers this season. Sorry. But yeah, we're putting, this season's really strong. I'm happy. I'm happy that we put out so many good items. For me, it's always just a challenge to how can we impress ourselves? What kind of new craziness can we come out with? So, and then for me, the payday really is okay, we've made it. I love it. I enjoy it. And when I see you guys are happy with it, that's really, when you make something and then you can see people are getting, some satisfaction out of it. It's very satisfying. Satisfying to be satisfied. So anyways, when you guys tell me you particularly enjoy something, I do, it's not just nothing for me. I appreciate it a lot. So, yeah, anyways. Thanks for liking what we do, allowing us to do the things that we do. And if you like the things that we do, hit the like button, everybody. Let's get those likes up, and we'll get the likes up, everybody. Let's if we get to 100 likes on this video, I'll give away a gift card, $25 to Tatin Yoko or Naked Famous Denim NYC. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what jeans you're wearing this weekend. And when this video hits 100 likes, we'll give away a gift card. So if you haven't hit that like button already, do it. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and then you'll see a little thing in the corner there letting you know that you've unlocked an achievement. Okay. HRZ writes, I'm definitely getting the Crimson Sky. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy them. We've I think anybody who has them will enjoy them a lot. It's definitely a very, very special and unique jean. You don't get a lot of colored wefts out there. This season we've got two. But for a red weft to be yeah, I like the fact that you can't see it. For me, that was kind of a how can we make this different, and that was our mentality there. Riley O'Brien writes, Bezad, wearing my Stacked Guy Flex Selvedge that I just got home to. They were delivered today. Enjoy. I don't know. Enjoy them. Yeah. I just got them today. Good. I'm glad they were delivered in time. Stacked guy fit is phenomenal, and the jeans is stupid comfortable. Absolutely well done by you guys. The flex denim is ridiculously comfortable. I know we don't have a lot of. Inventory left at the moment, and if you like, they're jeggings. I mean, these are the stretchiest stretch we've ever seen. That could be made for Selvedge. And let me tell you the difficulty of making a denim that stretchy that is also Selvedge. Because remember, elastin fibers are on the weft, and the shuttle is going back and forth. They're filling in the weft fibers. So these are going pretty fast. And what happens when you pull an elastic? It stretches. So the way this fabric is made is that it's made a little bit extra wide, and then the shuttle is going very, very slow, so that it doesn't pull the elastic fibers too much. So when this fabric comes out, it's actually quite wide in order for them to, get the elastic fiber not to be, extended. But the problem is, in production, is that, the shrinkage rate was something like 30%. It was huge. A big, not like a typical unsanforized, 8 to 10%. That's manageable for a lot of people. We can tell you what you need to size, but how do you do it for 30% shrinkage? It's crazy. It's size up 6. It's not something you can do. So, we had to pre-wash all these jeans, but when you do that, you also have to grade all the patterns up 30% so that you can calculate the shrinkage on all that stuff. So it's a little bit more work to deal with a fabric like that, but a level of stretch in a Selvedge denim, you're never gonna see it again. It's a pretty fantastical fabric. It's magical. I mean, it's super, super comfortable. If you want something that's stretchy that is also Selvedge, then that's the way to go. You can achieve that level of stretch without Selvedge, but to do it with Selvedge, not so easy. Hey Bayzed, I've noticed some Naked Famous jeans are really shiny, like the blue core Selvedge. Anything different in the dyeing process or just the camera? Hey, we got a subscriber, Vince Chan. Thanks for subscribing. I don't think that there's anything particular, especially about the blue core. It might just be the camera. The Crimson Sky looks a little shiny just because they're so saturated with dye. I don't think much about the blue core. If we're talking about the blue core, I would say it's probably maybe the angle of the camera or something like that. It's difficult to capture. I mean, getting accurate colors is difficult. It's not always easy. But yeah, I know that with certain raw jeans, sometimes they'll look a little bit shiny because that's just the nature of the fabric. I mean, remember when there's still a lot of starch in those fabrics, but that won't really affect the outside. The starch is, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know really why some fabrics will appear to be a little bit more shiny than others. I'd have to think about that one. The starch really wouldn't do that because the starch is on the yarn and then the yarn is dyed on top, so any starch really wouldn't be visible. I can't think of a reason right now. I'll have to think about that one. Fossil Jaws writes, Sam, from what I understand, it has to do a lot with the yarn itself. If it's hairy, it gives a duller look, whereas smoother, tighter yarn gives more of a sheen. Yeah, that's true. That would probably be a lot of it as well. That's probably most of it. See, that's why I love this community, putting our brains together. Buenos Noches writes, excuse my lateness. What's the price point for the Crimson Sky? They look nice. I'll have to check for you. I don't remember offhand. My little brain doesn't contain all of the data. Crimson Sky, 185 retail on the Crimson Sky. So there you have it. Okay. Jose Rivera III writes, do you grab a lot of the new releases for yourself, or do you just get a new pair when you need? I don't. I don't really anymore. Early days, Naked and Famous. Okay, here's the thing. You know, when we were on trade show like schedule, I always like to wear the new stuff when we be at the show, because people want to see stuff on. So I would take like one or two jeans and a bunch of shirts so I would have like just a traveling wardrobe with me when we were on trade show tour time. Then my closet just erupted with too much stuff. I just a lot of you guys are collecting our stuff, and you pick up one or two things a season, but like I was 2 or 3 pairs of jeans a season, 5, 6 shirts a season, and that really adds up a lot on top of all the stuff that I already had. So I really only pick up a pair when I need. Shirts I might pick up a little bit more often, but even then I've tried to contain myself a lot more. And it wasn't that it's just, it comes with the territory. When you're in like working in this world, you end up with a lot of clothes, and it adds up fast. When I used to work at Holt Renfrew, when I worked at Diesel, like they gave us a clothing allowance, and that was to ensure that like we were always decked out in the newest stuff when we were on the floor. And like a lot of departments had a similar kind of program. Like if you were like a brand specialist, your job was to take care of a particular brand in the store, and the brand would often give you a clothing allowance just to make sure like you were always suited up. So if you're working for like some, it didn't matter like whether you're working for your Diesel or if you're working for like a Prada or a Gucci or something like that. Like if you were like in charge of that area, like I don't know if they still do it today, but when I was working there, like you would get some kind of clothing allowance. And if you were working at a particular job for like long enough, like you just end up with so much stuff. It just piles up, and like they don't want you wearing any of the old stuff, so it's like you're just always in the new stuff, and you're just your wardrobe at home starts like erupting. When you get maybe 4 or 5 pairs of jeans a season, 20 shirts a season, like that was what it was like at Diesel. Like it was a lot. So every 6 months, and you do that for a couple years, you build up with a lot of things. And I had friends who were there, and I had a colleague, and she was in charge of like ladies denim, and they gave her something like 7 or 8 pairs of jeans a season, and she did that position for like years, and her closet was just overflowing. She had so many jeans. And the funny thing about her was like she was particularly petite, very small, very short, and so like all of her jeans had to be hemmed to like a 0 inseam basically. And she's like, I don't even have friends I can give this stuff to because nobody's my size. She was just like the tiniest human being ever. So yeah, I like when friends come over to my house, like it's always like, hey, you're my size, here, take stuff. It's just it's at that point. So I mean, it's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I try to limit how much stuff I take now, just because I've really like my closet's gonna fall apart with how much stuff is hung, and like everything's folded, and especially now that I don't go anywhere, it starts to become a little bit of a burden. Like you go into your closet and you're like, I have a lot of shirts that I don't wear because I don't go out very much. So these ones over here, these guys, the Houndstooth. Yeah, I'm still taking them though. But we're going on a trip. We're going to Canada. I need to look Canadian. I need to look appropriate, or some brushed flannels. But yeah, it is what it is. Underwear Pirates writes, I'm late to the chat. Did I miss the cats? How are they? I think they're passed out on the couch. They got their breakfast, and now they're doing their first nap of the day. They haven't appeared in chat yet. What's the black denim that has the most texture at Naked Famous Denim? Right now, you got the Japan Heritage Black on sale. That's the one with the most. Bane has a lot of texture, so if you're looking for heavyweight. Oh, and the Trunks denim. So the Trunks denim is, I think I just put it on sale. So you can get the Trunks denim and the Japan Heritage denim. So if you want some textured black denim options, you got two. And then you've got the Bane, and you got the Bane denim. So there's three. There's three really textured black jeans on site right now. Louis Isla writes, my wife gives me a Naked and Famous Denim allowance. All right. Cheers to your wife. Yeah, it's, look, we have our hobbies. It's good. It's good to have someone making sure you don't go overboard. Things can get pretty messy pretty quick. My hobbies sometimes are a little much, and I'll have packages show up to the door, and like I won't open, like I'll get the thing and I just won't open it up for weeks, and I'm just like, hopefully my wife doesn't get too mad at me for this. Riley O'Brien writes, Bezat, in the event of a pair of ordered jeans from Tate and Yoko, if you request an alteration like showing the inseam, like shortening the inseam, how does that affect the delivery times? Oh, so I guess the question is, if you request a hemming at Tate and Yoko, how long does that affect delivery times? It depends on how busy we are. If it's a regular day, it might just be an extra day or two to do the alteration. If it's like a sale, we get a lot, business really ramps up, and there might be more hemming jobs than normal. It might delay it up to a week, especially around like the next couple of months. Like, this is kind of the kickoff of like Labor Day sales, the first like kind of thing going on for the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months. So we got Labor Day sale, that's going on right now. And Thanksgiving Day, that'll be similar to what we're doing right now. Maybe a few more items will be put on sale then. Then we've got, so that'll be in October. Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. Then we've got Black Friday. That will be a big event. Big event. I'm promising you guys a big event. And then Boxing Day will be in December. So that'll happen right after Christmas or around Christmas. And that'll be a repeat of Black Friday. So if there's something you missed on Black Friday, you'll be able to get it again on Boxing Day. There might also be a few other additions there. So there's always a little bit of differentiation in terms of what is on sale, what isn't on sale. Maybe there's a few items added to the sale. But that's for the next 4 months. We're in the last stretch of the year. I can't believe it's September already. This year's just been flying by. But that's what's going to be happening to us. Yeah. Sam, there's no way. That's a very long last name, Mr. Sam T. Will you be sending any stock to Australian retailers? So the way it works is our retailers, our retail partners, they order from us. So it's not really up to us to just send goods. I wish it was, but they have to put those orders in. So if there's any particular retailers that you want to see carrying Naked Famous, or there's more that Naked Famous you want to see from the retailers that do carry our stuff, you got to let them know. So we're in contact with them all the time, but it's not so much up to us. A lot of people also ask me like, hey, why don't you sell to this store or why don't you sell to that store? Again, not up to me. You know, a lot of these places, you know, we might have approached some of them. You know, maybe I haven't. I don't know them. But I always say that, like, if there's a store that you want to see carrying Naked and Famous, let them know. You know, it's great. I will do my best to try and like engage with those retailers. But when it comes to that kind of thing, when I approach somebody, they're looking at me from the position of, hey, here's just another sales guy, right? You know, they get solicited all the time. There's always a bunch of brands that are always trying to sell their products to different stores. That's normal. That's our business. But if a retailer knows that there's demand from customers, they're more inclined to bring those products in. So, you know, retailers is a tough position to be in. You know, taking a chance on a brand is, you know, many thousands of dollars you got to invest into that. And, you know, the money that you have as a store, that's got to bring you in more money. So they want to be careful. They want to be sure that what they do is the right move. And when they know that there are people behind the products that they carry, then they're more inclined to bring those products in. So, yeah, be as vocal as you can to your retailers to let them know that you're looking for something, and they're more likely to react that way. Okay, so I think that concludes denim talk and all that stuff. Let's talk about a few other things. So, Luis Mendoza writes, Naked and Famous times Bape. I do it in a heartbeat. I just don't know anybody at Bape. You know, I'm a old school Bape head. You know, I really enjoy Bape, and I think like the 20-year-old Bezad would be like, you did it. If anybody here from Bape is watching, love to hear from you. But I don't know anybody there. I wish I did. You know, some people ask me, hey, why don't you do a collaboration with Supreme? I'm like, tell them to give me a call. I don't know anybody there. I also don't skate. That's the thing. Like a lot of skater stuff. Like I know that there's a skater audience out there that we have. There's for sure. So I want to do something for them. So maybe we got to do some kind of skate collaboration at some point. But yeah, I personally don't skate. I can barely ride a bike. Favorite Japanese wrestling promotion ever? Ever? That's an interesting question. I mean, I'd like New Japan. I would say that currently, I guess because of, you know, travel restrictions and stuff, it's a little bit. It's not as exciting. I would say that a lot of what drew me to New Japan over the last couple of years has been some of the foreign talent coming to Japan and, like, you know, doing it. For me, it's always fun to see, like, you know, John Moxley, you know, coming to New Japan, or Chris Jericho coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and, like, it's like, you know, I want to see them, like, you know, be more expressive, you know, than what they might have been able to do somewhere else. But you know, you get that from AEW right now. AEW is really, they're doing a pretty incredible job right now, and it feels like, you know, there's it's when I was a kid, you know, like when WCW was really coming, you know, really making their moves, it was like always exciting. There was something new, something exciting happening every single week. Who's gonna be there? Who's gonna show up? And so AEW feels like that a lot. Like every week, it's like this is like some internet breaking news, and so very, very exciting to be a wrestling fan right now. There's a lot going on. You know, AEW is very hot. You know, but like I watch a lot. You know, well, I did. I haven't watched a lot in a while. To be fair, my life just doesn't allow me to consume a lot of content. So I'm mostly enjoying wrestling through like YouTube, like recaps. Like if somebody you know, I watch these YouTube, wrestling YouTube channels, and they're kind of recapping what's going on. So most of my wrestling information and what, you know, what's going on in wrestling, just, you know, I know about it because kind of secondhand. I don't get to watch as much. You get AEW in Japan. I get all the channels in Japan. But yeah, I get most of my wrestling news from not watching live, or watching the actual matches. Unfortunately, I haven't watched a pay-per-view in a long while. Like, I just don't have the time. You don't understand. Speaking of not having the time, my homework last week was to watch The Babadook. I did not have time to watch. Literally, did not have time this week to sit down and watch this. Like, the only time I had this week to consume any content was, eat lunch, watch an episode of The Office, eat dinner, watch an episode of The Office. That's it. Like, yeah, I've been absolutely glued to this desk this entire week. I failed my homework. I gotta watch this, and then I also brought another movie to suggest. Cool as Ice, starring Vanilla Ice, the Iceman. This is one of the best, worst movies ever made. If you've never seen this, prepare yourself. It is artistically shot and a very, it's funny. It's more, I don't think it's trying to be serious at all. It's very, the fromage level is very high, but you can see it. There was a lot of effort put into this film. This isn't going to be, thought-provoking film in any way, but very, very, very enjoyable. I just bought it on Blu-ray. As you can see, it's still in the wrapping, but I've seen this before. Very, very, very funny movie. It like 80s, 90s, early 90s. The thing about the early 1991, but 1991 still felt like the 80s. It wasn't quite the 90s yet. So, I guess if you want to see the pinnacle of 80s, 1991's Cool as Ice is definitely a good option for you. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it. You will not be disappointed because you will be entertained. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that. Brandog124 writes, if Bryan Danielson goes to AEW, I hope to bring back the cattle mutilation. I hope they bring back the cattle mutilation. I don't know what that is. But I do hope that Bryan shows up in AEW. Who would have, 2 years ago, just think of 2 years ago, would you have thought Sting, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson would all be in the same wrestling ring? Sting's with Darby Allin right now. It's just, for me, it's mind blowing to see Sting in a modern setting. He did 2 matches in WWE, which we both lost, which I don't know. I don't know why that happened. I guess I know why, but I don't know why. But I guess he got injured, but obviously not injured enough. He's wrestling's amazing right now. Wrestling is definitely amazing right now. If you're a wrestling fan, it's a good time to be alive. That's for sure. It's just very exciting. It's just there's options. There's so much to watch. So yeah, very good. Okay. I think CM Punk really rejuvenated my interest in wrestling. CM Punk return was really surprising. I'm a big CM Punk fan. I would have to say, though, as much as I enjoy his return to the ring, I know he doesn't owe me anything. CM Punk doesn't owe me anything. But the hiatus and then to have, watching those UFC fights really disappointed me. I genuinely thought, okay, maybe he put his entire heart into it. I have no doubt that he worked very hard at what he did, but like those matches were so sad to watch, very sad to watch. And I'm like, I felt like, dude, you're representing pro wrestling in a way. You see Brock Lesnar, I'm just trying to think of some other pro wrestlers that were in MMA, like what's his name from Ken Shamrock. There has Kazushi Sakuraba. Like, there's been a long string of very successful pro wrestlers in MMA, and I really liked that because you there's always the hey, wrestling's fake. I'm like, number one, I love I'm like, Game of Thrones is fake. Like, I love throwing that out at people. I'm like, I love telling, I'm like, The Walking Dead is fake. That's not real, right? Like, people talk to me like, oh, like as if I'm not aware that wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan, and yet I haven't figured out that this is scripted. Like, are you how dumb do you think I am, right? Yeah, Bobby Lashley killed it in Bellator. But Batista had a fight once, right? I think he did okay. But I think he had just one fight. But yeah, like for me, it was like to leave wrestling at that pinnacle where, we really wanted you, right? We wanted to see you, and like there was so much like, hey, there's New Japan, there's Ring of Honor, there's all these places that would love to have you, and we would love to see you. Like, the fans are just dying to see you. And then, those MMA fights, I don't want to say that he just dialed him in, but like, you got your pay, and you were gonna get paid regardless. So maybe there wasn't much of maybe there wasn't the fire there that needed to be there. And those fights were not good. I remember watching the first one. I had my CM Punk t-shirt on. I was hyped that the music hit. Cult of Individuality, Cult of Personality. And I had friends over, and I was so excited for this fight, and I watched it, and I'm just like, ooh, like my heart sunk. And like, I'm not saying that he had the win, but like that was, anybody can lose like that, fine. But the second fight, boy was that one not good. So yeah, I was very disappointed. And then just to be away from wrestling for so long, and it just kind of felt like, I'm done with wrestling. I've kind of turned my back on them. And look, you're allowed to retire and all that stuff, but I don't know. As a big CM Punk fan, I just felt like, I don't know if maybe I felt like he turned his back on us, and again, he doesn't owe us anything. But I also don't owe him anything either. If he wants to perform, I'll watch it. But like, just, I don't know. I felt weird about it. I just felt weird about the whole thing, and I just kind of was disappointed, and I just wanted more of him in wrestling, and that's my own, I guess, demand, I guess, and it's not fair to put that on anybody, but I'm gonna have to warm up to CM Punk again. Is my opinion. I want to see him do well, but I can't unsee those UFC fights. I just can't. And I'm not saying you have to be a champion, you have to win every fight, because Kazushi Sakuraba certainly got his head kicked in more than once. But like, just to see that spirit, or I like that. Or Nagoya Ogawa, pro wrestler. He fought. He was from. There was an organization in Japan called Hustle, and I think he ran that. I don't think he did particularly well. He was in Pride Fighting Championships. Also, you know who was in Pride Fighting Championships? Fought once. Alberto Del Rio, Alberto El Patron. He fought masked as Dos Caras Jr. and he had his head kicked in by Mirko Krokop. I think that was a very, very fast fight, probably less than a minute. But yeah, he fought. He got in the ring with Mirko Krokop at the height of Mirko Krokop. Oof. That was a brave thing to do. It wasn't like he was not fighting, it wasn't like he was fighting nobody. He was fighting top tier level heavyweight heavyweight of the world. That was crazy. Josh Barnett also did some pro wrestling. Yeah, wasn't Dan Severn was the NWA champion when he went to UFC. If you watch Dan Severn's first UFC appearance, they're carrying the NWA championship to the ring. Pretty cool. So pro wrestling and MMA have there's a lot of connection there, and yeah, like, it's when I saw guys coming out of WWE and going into MMA, like, it was the Brock Lesnar's, it was the Bobby Lashley's, it was the Batistas, like, and they were there, I think, to prove themselves as like, oh, we're not just fake fighters, like, we can fight. And I think I forget who it was, but somebody made a comment to Brock Lesnar. I forget who it was, about basically being fake, and I think he ended his career in that fight. Oh man, I forget his name. Anyways, I'm sure you guys can look it up. But yeah, just my thoughts there. Look, I like CM Punk, but I feel a little sad about how we left. Floyd Mayweather wrestled Big Show too. That's true. Floyd Mayweather actually broke Big Show's nose in that match. MMA would be nothing without wrestling. I mean, the fundamentals of MMA is wrestling. It is wrestling. There's no question about it. So yeah, you look at the start of MMA. You've got guys like Dan Severn. You've got guys like Ken Shamrock. These are all guys who are from pro wrestling backgrounds. So, was it Frank Mir? I don't think it was Frank Mir. But yeah, I enjoy MMA, wrestling, movies. Dude, I used to watch a lot. I was a big Pride Fighting Championships fan. Humongous. Biggest Pride Fighting Championship fan. Even like the Pride Fighting Championship music, like the if you guys remember, if you guys ever watched it, the music that they would play when they were introducing the fighters. Like anytime I'm exercising, that is my exercise music. It is so it just makes me want to do stuff. So not that I exercise very much, but anytime I do, that is my music. Ever seen N1 Medieval League from Russia, Night MMA? Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. They look a little silly. But yeah, the guys in like medieval armor fighting each other. Some of it looks brutal, but I don't know. It's not. Maybe it needs to be in a gladiator setting and not in a ring. All right, you know what we should do? Snack time, and we actually have a pretty good snack time lined up today. Let me just get a couple of snacks, and we'll start. Junior writes, Pride events were an amazing presentation. There's no question about that. I mean, it was Pride FC, RIP. I really wish UFC were to bring Pride back in Japan and get the screamy lady and get those those fighter introduction. It was a very beautiful presentation. It felt very special. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be back with some snacks. Okay, let's Risa. Let's do it. Yes. All right. We'll we've got some interesting stuff today. I got some cups. You got? Oh yeah, let's use those cups. That's more appropriate. So we had a package delivered this week from a friend, and they sent us some Tim Tams from Australia. And I've never had one of these before, and we actually got a couple of packs, but they recommended the chocolate ones to go with coffee. And so we were out and about this week. Let me maybe Reese, you got to get in there a little bit more. So we were out and about this week, and we came across perhaps the fanciest coffee shop in Tokyo. Like, well, maybe not the fanciest, but it was pretty fancy. Like, the outside looked like a mansion, and you go inside, and there was like a full-on like coffee roasting factory inside.
Yeah. I think like when they were building it, I knew it was gonna be like fancy style.
Yeah.
But it was real. Like they had a real like facility. They had real like appreciation for like history of cups and like what do you call it?
Grinders. So when you get down there, it was like they had like a bajillion like Victorian style cups, like beautiful like coffee cups from 100 years ago or more up till modern day, 18 somethings. They had all these beautiful cups, and they had all these like grinders from all around the world that were like, from ancient till now. So it was like a museum of coffee stuff, and then like all marble floors and like bright lights and like elegant. Like I was wearing like really scrubby clothes. I felt very out of place, but I'm always wearing scrubby clothes. But I mean, it was elegance, and they had this Royal Crystal iced coffee, like just the most beautiful iced coffee bottle I've ever seen. It was $10, 1,000 yen. And I would say that in Japan you get a liter of coffee, like iced coffee, at the grocery store for like $1.50. So maybe like a better one might be $3, but like this was a special occasion. So I'm like, I kind of want to try it. I want to know what $10 bottled iced coffee tastes like, especially from this place because it looks so fancy. So we picked it up. Tim Tams and the Antique Coffee Cups, epic crossover. So yeah, there was the suggestion was to do a Tim Tam smash with chocolate Tim Tams and coffee. So we're doing iced coffee today, and it smells like iced coffee. All right, and we've got our fancy crystal cups to enjoy these in. So we're extra fancy today. We're gonna be as fancy as humanly possible while we do snack time today. Okay, so we've got beautiful crystal cups. We've got Tim Tams. We've got all of you guys. That looks like olive oil. Definitely does look like an olive oil bottle. Okay, so let's do it. I've never had one of these before.
Oh, I used to love these.
It looks like a cookie with a chocolate coating. So let's enjoy. Cheers. Boom. Oh no.
Oh, the coffee is good.
These are good. Yeah, very sugary. Very like, I don't know. It's a cookie with some kind of cream on top, chocolate covered. I would get these again. Let's Tim Tams Slam. Tim Tams Slam. Better with hot white coffee because it melts the chocolate. Okay. So we'll have to try that next time instead of with just some iced coffee. But chocolate and coffee, very good combination in general. Yes, coffee is amazing.
It's very good. It's very like rich.
Yeah. It's like slightly acidic, not too hard, but I don't know. I'm not very good at my coffee descriptions, but
it's hard.
Geez,
but it tastes good.
That does taste. That tastes like that's a very high quality.
Yeah, it's
iced
not
coffee.
The same as 100 yen.
No, it sure isn't.
Paper pack coffee.
Well, I approve these. You've never had a Tim Tam.
It's very like the biscuit is very like crunchy.
Yeah.
Is it crunchy? It's
yeah.
Like very.
Yeah, the biscuits have a nice crunch. You know, it's like cheap, not cheap, but like, you know, typical kind of like milk chocolate taste, right? Which I like. I like milk chocolate. And the cream on the inside is kind of nutty tasting. Not quite Nutella, but
yeah.
That's a nice treat. Made with irresistible real chocolate, it says. 11 biscuits. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Never had these before. I can say that I will enjoy these again someday. Thank you for sending these out. I super appreciate it. I love finding out about new snacks. All right. Dang, coming in right at the end. Don't worry, BD. The replay will be up just as soon as the stream ends. What denim would you pair with coffee? Good question. That'll be the last question for the day. We did make a coffee denim. Yeah. We did make a coffee dyed. We actually made a coffee dyed denim. That might be the most proper pairing. But you know what? I'm gonna go left-hand twill. You know why? Because left-hand twill Selvedge, classic raw denim. There's just something about raw denim and coffee. Like, there's a lot of cross contamination. Is that the word I'm looking for? But like the cross of cultures, like coffee culture and raw denim culture. There's so many people that cross over in that realm.
It's just like a personality thing, I think. It's just like if you get into like things like
details.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like details, you tend to. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much exactly it. It's like audiophiles, coffee, raw denim, knives, boots, leather. You know, those kind of men's
men things.
Yeah, men's appreciation thing. Watches, watches maybe less so with raw denim. You do get a little bit of crossover here and there, but I think that watches and like cars, that's like another level of like.
Yeah, because you need
a lot of dough to be into those ones.
You can't be like 20 years old and into watches.
Yeah, I mean you can be. You're just not gonna have very many unless you're rich. But yeah, all right. That's it. Tim Tam's rule: Tim Tam slam and drink through the cookie. All right, we're gonna have to try that. Josh Edwards writes, more buttery than a Kit Kat. That's true. I think you guys will like the mango ones too. A little bit different. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying.
There's mango ones.
Yeah, there's a couple more flavors we got back there. So, we're gonna give them all a try. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. My hands are a little bit chocolatey, but that's okay. That's life. And I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day if you have the day off. And we'll see you guys again real soon. I'm just trying to think of the thought of the day. Wear a raincoat. If it's raining outside, carry an umbrella, carry a raincoat. Very basic stuff. Things that I rarely do. If it's raining, I usually just don't care.
You don't even have a raincoat.
I don't even have a raincoat. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave it at that. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys again soon. And yeah, we'll leave it there. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.